So another fantastic day today. Thought I'd give you a little update on the chickens. We have one hen that was getting beat up. We got two roosters. We got Frenchie and Rue. And it looked like Frenchie was beating her up really bad for some reason and making her bleed. Well, once the chicken starts to bleed, then the other chickens come in and want some of that blood. And so they start picking on her. So I took her up to the house. We got those little crates that we put the incubated chickens in for several weeks. We put her in there. It was a little small, but she adjusted pretty quickly, settled in, and got to spend the night. She healed up a little bit, wasn't bleeding so bad. So I brought her back down here. She laid an egg. Seems to be okay now. We had to separate Rue. So it looks like, I don't know what to do with him. I mean, it's frustrating. If I say anything about butchering Rue and Frenchie, I get just absolutely criticized that you can't butcher them. But I mean, that's what they're for. So I told everybody that I promised I wouldn't butcher those two because we named them. Apparently you're not allowed to name chickens and butcher them. But I mean, what are you going to do? I mean, you feed them, they're your food. I tell you that they're going to be food from the very get-go. And then when I actually say, okay, it's time to make food out of them, oh no, you can't do that. So that actually has me quite concerned for the people who said I can't butcher my chickens. Chickens aren't pets, and we're a society now where we have just forgotten how to take care of ourselves. And that's kind of frightening when you think about it, because a lot of people in my audience believes that eventually we are not going to be able to buy food at the store anymore. There are a lot of people who believe that. So if you believe you're not going to be able to buy food anymore, but you're not allowed to butcher chickens because they're pets, what are you going to eat? I don't understand. So, but that's just part of off-grid living and homestead life. Farming, you butcher your animals, whether you name them or not. Naming them just makes it easier that we know who to talk about. I mean, imagine this. Carolyn comes up and says, the red is getting beat up by one of the roosters. Oh, which rooster? I'll go separate him. Well, you know, the one that's black. Well, yeah, they're both black. The one, you would never get through the conversation. Now, someone put tags around their feet, but then there's more cost, more money, more everything. Then you got to worry about infections and rubs and all that. So, I don't know. So anyway, she's all healed up. Rue is separated. I guess we'll put an ad in. The thing is, what's so funny is we'll put an ad out. Somebody will come pick him up and he'll be butchered the next day anyway. So I don't know why I can't have the food. I spent all the money on him. Yeah, it is aggravating that I got such backlash on that. But that kind of brings me to the point of today's video, kind of. I've been watching a lot about energy and the way things are going with energy. Now, I'm not the kind of YouTuber content creator that's going to say, well, if it's happening over there, it's going to happen here. I don't do that. I went through a bunch of administrations just like everybody else. I've seen good and bad, and I've been really afraid during some administrations. The things I was worried about just never transpired. Doesn't mean it can't happen now, but it didn't then, and I was just afraid, as some of you are telling me you're afraid now. I've lived here through 2 administrations now. I've been just as happy regardless of who was in office. The president doesn't determine my happiness in life. I determine my happiness. I determine how to be happy, and I've done that. So a lot of people are unhappy with electric prices and heating costs. Had a commenter, and I couldn't find the comment, so if I've gotten it incorrect, I apologize, but I'll try to present it in both ways that it could have been presented to me. But the commenter said that electric prices are expected to go up 5,000 euros per year. How much the heating cost is going to be. If that's not what the commenter said, then it was 5,000 euros next year or something like that. So it's going up. Now, it's my understanding a euro is roughly the same price as a dollar right now. So for Americans, that's $5,000 that you're going to be paying per year extra for your electric bill, or $5,000 a year. I'm not sure which, but in the end, it's a lot of money. I wouldn't want to pay it. And then the heating cost, they don't know. This person said they're going to get a wood stove, and they're wanting to get a stove like mine where it burns the smoke So you get a burn and then a reburn. I don't know why they can't get one. They didn't explain that. But here they're regulated. That's the only thing you can buy now is the reburners. So you can go to Home Depot and pick up a wood stove pretty cheap. I say cheap. It would be cheaper than the 5,000 euros or dollars that you're gonna have to pay for an extra electric bill. I suspect costs are gonna continue to rise. My problem is I don't know how much things are gonna rise because I have no marker. I have no idea what prices are right now. I don't know if they went up, went down, because I don't have the electric problem everybody else has. For 10 years of my life, from what, 2002 to 2012, I paid an electric bill in a house every year very consistently. And I did everything I could to reduce the cost of that electric bill. It just, all the time I was trying to figure out what I could do. I insulated and insulated some more. Bought all new windows. I spent a fortune remodeling that house, trying to keep this house warmer. And I don't know if I ever succeeded. I was always cold. Well, here we got the wood stove, we got the little tiny house. It's very easy to heat. We actually get it too hot sometimes. It's just amazingly easy to heat. We have 2x6s instead of 2x4s. So we have extra insulation in there. And when I built it, I sealed up every gap I could find, or every gap that was available, so nothing could draw into the house. And then I find all my heat for free, all of it. And well, it's free as you can imagine. People will post on Facebook Marketplace that you can get free firewood from them. That, you know, they cut down a tree and they want to get rid of it. So you come over. Sometimes it's cut up in logs, other times it's not. So you cut it up, put it in your truck and bring it home. So whatever that costs to run the chainsaw, my time, and the truck, a truck load of firewood lasts me about 1/3 of a year, 1/3 of a winter. If you can find them close, and I don't think I've traveled any more than 30 miles for firewood, so 60-mile round trip 3 times. So a tank of gas, and that's a year's worth of firewood. Well, over in Europe, again, I'm not saying what happens in Europe happens here, but over in Europe, it's my understanding they're paying like up to $1,000 for a cord of wood. Now, what a cord of wood is, about 3 truckloads for me. I can get about 1/3 of a cord in a truck. So 3 truckloads is $1,000. Well, what I did was, let's just call it $40 is what I paid for the same amount of firewood. $40 or $50. I have no idea how Europe works. I don't know if people can own property with trees on it, but there are enough trees on my property for 1.5 acres that I can get the rest of my life on. Well, that was actually, I overcalculated. All I would need is, for a year, is 3 trees. 1, 2, 3. These 3 right here. Now, I watched a YouTuber who said that 20 million households, or 1/6 of the country, is behind on their electric bill. Now, I don't know how true that is, but it sounds reasonable. I mean, quite possible. It's not that hard to get behind on electric. Get sick, and you have to take off work, and you don't have any sick days. You know, those kind of things, and all of a sudden you're behind on your bills and you can't get caught up. Well, here we're getting ready to come into winter. In Missouri, I believe they can't shut you off in the wintertime, but they can in the summertime. The article he read said this woman ran her air conditioner because it was so hot, and then she got behind because it's so hot, and they of course blamed inflation. But what I've been trying to convince people is don't run the air conditioner. Financial responsibility is one thing I've been trying to impose, and I don't think people understand what that is. If I want to go buy a new car, but I can't afford a new car, that means I don't go buy a new car, whether I need one or not. If I need a car, then maybe I could go and get a small little thing. I don't even know what kind of small little things they make anymore. Make it used. I don't need a new car. I just need something to get me by for a while. Well, same thing with electric. If you don't have the money to buy electric, then don't run the air conditioner. Run a fan. It'd be like, instead of buying a new car, buy a used car. Don't run the air conditioner, use the fan. Same principle. I proved to you over the summer that you can live without an air conditioner. We did it. We're still doing it. We don't have an air conditioner. I know that in America, we believe we have a right to an air conditioner. But we don't. That's obvious because they've made prices so expensive that people are going to lose their electric. Now, are they going to lose their electric right before wintertime? I don't know. If you have electric heat, that's going to be really tough. And I'm telling you, it's harder to live through the winter without electric than it is in the summer without electric. I know because I do it. It is more difficult to run this lifestyle in the winter than it is in the summer. I mean, we've made adjustments and made it where it's not that difficult, but it's still difficult. Oh, look at there, a turtle. I've not seen a turtle on this property before. How cool is that? Now, the other thing I would highly recommend is if you're having problems with electric, I've said this before so many times, turn it off. Just turn it off. I mean, think about this. You can get yourself a few solar panels to run your refrigerator, like I do, and that's all the electric you need. Run your refrigerator. You're still saving money. If they're going to shut off your electric, go spend the $500–600 on solar panels. That way you can at least have your refrigerator running, or your freezer, or whatever it is you need. Start canning your food instead of freezing it. Put it in jars. If go to the yard sales, pick up some canning jars, get yourself some lids, start canning. I've explained how to do it. I've got playlists on my channel that explains how to do it. You have to start thinking that we might be heading into a depression. And I said in yesterday's video, if we're heading into a depression, the only people that was really successful in surviving the depression was those that were self-sufficient. These preppers. I mean, this morning he was talking about electric and how you can't afford electric, it's going to get shut off. Get yourself a solar generator. Well, okay, then what? You got a solar generator, it's going to provide you enough electric to run your freezer for like an hour, and then you're done. And they're really expensive. You can set up the solar panels for about the same price you can set up a solar generator. And you get more electric for what I've got here. I got 10 panels. So if you'll click that super thanks button, I'd really appreciate it. So I hope I can inspire you to become self-sufficient so you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.